When you pawn your wedding ring and your head is up your ass. Now you're listening to the Broke Even Podcast.
John, welcome to episode 3 of the Broke Even Podcast. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions this weekend, John.
There's nothing like gambling, Daryl. Well, you lose some and you lose some.
Hey, by the way, first of all, our picks this week were extraordinary.
Best week
You're
we've ever
welcome,
had.
everybody.
Best week we've ever had.
We were undefeated in the. I was undefeated in the NFL. Thank you, 5-0.
He killed it.
And here, college football is drunk. I'm already mad at it. I think it should start over. Can we start from scratch? Can we just start over? Every pick I've had is so incredibly wrong.
This is why the sport is the best that there is, Daryl. We looked at this week of games ago. This is what we've said. This is boring.
It's a boring
This is a
lineup.
bad week,
Yep.
bad week, boring week. And you get Marshall.
Alabama almost getting. They win by 1.
Alabama looks mortal.
Like they didn't look. You know why, John? Because we bet on them. That's why it happens. 20-point favorites. They win by 1 to a backup Texas quarterback. Texas notorious for just shit in the bed, which
And they looked
technically
amazing.
they did.
They looked amazing, though.
And yeah,
Even
they
the
did.
backup quarterback. I read a lot of fun
That
statistics.
was fun. I watched a lot of that. That was fun. I mean, of course, I was upset for my
Yeah.
betting loss, but that was a really fun. When Texas is good, even though we haven't really seen it for a while, it's fun.
Yeah, Texas at home, that crowd.
Yeah, I'm in.
I loved it to death.
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
We're McConaughey heads here.
I saw a tweet that goes, Marshall won and Texas almost won. Big McConaughey day. Tell the story about Nicole.
My girlfriend, we were watching Notre Dame Marshall, and Marshall shockingly defeats Notre Dame and just a crazy upset. But during the game, I told my girlfriend, I was like, by the way, did you know, I was like, back in the day, an entire airplane full of Marshall football players crashed, killed like 99% of the team.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God, really? Like they should make a movie out of that. And I was like,
Yes, they
yeah,
should.
Yeah, they should, Nicole. Yeah.
Yes, and Disney got their little hands on it.
Yeah, it's already been made.
We Are Marshall.
We
It's
Are
actually
Marshall.
really bad.
Terrible.
Terrible
not
film.
Good. No, not a good film.
I want to get back to the Texas Alabama real quick.
Please.
Fun facts. I learned that a bunch of bettors, like a bunch of the professional bettors, have been betting on these Alabama first halves, right? So like Alabama was like minus, I think it wound up being 10 when the game started in the first half, and they got so much money was on that, so much money, and Vegas just cleaned up. And then there's this one bettor in Texas who put $22,000 on Texas plus 14 at half.
I love
and
that so much.
He did it, pregame,
I love that.
and he,
I mean, because the first half bet that's so much more of a coin flip because they don't have to get to a certain.
exactly.
Yeah, I try to stay away because that's just upset central when you do that.
Yep.
I tend to stay away from those, but they are kind of fun.
Yeah,
But I would go underdog if you're ever going to do that.
$100 parlay on Marshall, App State, and what was the third big upset? If I can remember, it was Marshall, App State. What does it matter? But it was the other big upset. $100 parlay.
Was it Wisconsin?
No, yes, it was Washington State.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
$100 on that. Those three. Do you have any guess? It would have yielded $800,000. 800,000.
And if you bet that, you are so stupid. But I want your money.
But I want you.
Yeah.
But I just like. There's a better.
That's a grandma that has grandkids going to all 3 of those schools.
Somebody did it live for $50 in Jersey, won $33K. Whoever you are,
Give us some.
give us some.
Give
and
us-
good for you.
Okay, so just to recap, just pure chaos. So both of us, Wisconsin loses to Washington State. To be fair, I've not been a believer all season. From the get-go, off season, I never believed the hype. I want Paul Chris fired.
Yeah.
I want our defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard, to become the head coach.
Yep.
So if we have to suffer through a year, fine.
Yeah.
I want him gone. I want to start
I
fresh.
do think it's time for you guys to change. Like he's hit his zenith. A lot of 10-win seasons. He has a Big Ten title here and there. I believe
he
has
does
no
not.
big. He has no BT. He has no BTTs.
No, he's been to the Big Ten championship game. I lost to Penn State when they were up by.
You never snuck one in with Chris, huh?
Nope. He got because he's conservative and boring and wears crew necks.
Yeah, fire him.
I want him gone.
It's time. Yeah.
I want a new regime. Your Pitt Panthers fell to
Overtime.
Tennessee. That was a tough one.
That was a tough loss, man. Quarterback knocked out end of the first half. Last play of the first half, we were playing without our top running back. I'm
That'll
still
do it.
very pro Pitt. I can't give up 5 sacks though. Keep on giving up 5 sacks a game. And also the West Virginia win looks very sus
Yeah,
now that they
now.
lost to
Yep.
Kansas in overtime.
But you had him for a week, buddy. You're really
Kansas entered the game. They had 110 consecutive games. They were a dog in Big 12 play.
wow. Oh my god.
And they won outright. And last year they won outright against Texas. So now they've won outright as dogs in the past 2 years.
That's an incredible
which is
stat,
huge.
John.
Duke 2-0, Kansas 2-0, Kentucky 2-0. It's basketball year, baby.
I don't like it. They don't get that too. Let's see. Iowa, hilarious. They've scored 1 touchdown this entire season.
Fire your offensive coordinator.
They're so stupid. And
Just fire him.
that Wisconsin-Iowa game is going to be terrible and hilarious all at the same time. It's going to be 6-2.
And the offensive coordinator of Iowa is the head
son?
coach's son,
Yep.
Brian Frank.
Of course.
Fire him.
Stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
Hey, John, do you remember my playoff picks?
Oregon,
Oregon, Notre Dame,
Ohio State,
and Alabama.
and Alabama. Okay, 2 out of 4 ain't bad.
Alabama.
Do I have Utah, I think, in there? So
Yeah, you do.
You know,
I mean,
they lost the first.
it's fine. There's some sleeper. Yeah, it's weird. Like Kentucky, Oklahoma State, USC look good again, buddy.
Jordan Addison.
Arkansas looks good, weird, and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I feel like all those teams are going to just crumble towards the end.
I think I can't wait to talk about this first game. I think BYU that late, what happens when you go to bed is BYU be up beaten on teams. They were 5-0 against the Pac-12 last year. Don't sleep on the Cougs. And I know
This is going to be tough because these virgins are taking on Oregon, who I also hate now. This is terrible.
This is a real Sophie's choice.
You know what, John? I might just go to bed. I might not even bet it, which I've
Pac-12
never
after
actually ever
dark.
done ever. Scott
never-
Frost got fired.
Finally, about 3 games too late.
That's tough. Tough little run for Scott.
His buyout went up to 15 mil, it's at 15 mil now. Went down to 7.5 October 1st. Couldn't wait. They'd rather give him $7.5 million to leave now.
Do you want to know why that is?
Why?
They were afraid that he was going to win a couple games and make it hard for them to fire him.
Fascinating.
They're like, no. Like, we want to move on now because if you win the next 2 games, we can't do it.
And
we have
guess
to wait.
And guess who's at the door for Nebraska this week?
Jim Harbaugh.
Nope, Oklahoma.
Oh, I mean, I'm talking. Yeah, Oklahoma. Yeah, they're going to
Oklahoma.
they're
at
gonna
the
get
door with
absolutely
with
spanked.
with no head coach. But here's
Nope.
the thing:
Probably
Nebraska's probably going to cover.
Yeah, let's bet on Nebraska.
Let's just because
might
life
as well.
makes no sense. Because Marshall beats Notre Dame at home.
But does Jim Harbaugh come to Nebraska?
No, he never would. He'll go NFL.
Yeah,
or
probably
bust.
too lame for him. All right, John. What's I mean, should you want a little quick recap of NFL, or we want to go to college picks?
Let's just do all college, and we'll do
Let's
all
do college
NFL.
picks.
'Cause I'm excited to talk about
NFL. Is great.
baby.
Like the NFL was fucking amazing. All right, last week we both went 3-2 in our picks.
I regret picking.
We'll take that, guys.
I regret picking Alabama. Obviously, it's just they're
Yeah, we
just
both
not
lost
covering.
Alabama pick. I took Florida. You took Kentucky. So I lost that one. That was a
Yeah.
great game.
An amazing
But,
game. Kentucky 2-0, and just really look out, dude. They're good.
Also,
Sorry.
did you see? Like, I'm fairly certain. I don't have the score in front of me, but Kentucky ended up covering the spread in overtime. I believe it
No,
was,
they won in regulation.
This one didn't go overtime.
Mm-mm.
Okay, never
They had a
mind. Maybe
pick.
I'm
They had
thinking
a, they had
something
a really late interception though. It got weird.
different. Disregard, guys.
Disregard.
Don't worry about that. I had something written down. It's my first mistake in my life. Deal with it. All right. Let's get to some picks. Let's do this thing. First game we kind of already brought up. Number 12 BYU travels to Oregon.
I'm so excited about this game.
That spread
dude.
is Oregon is favored by 3.5. It's
I'm
a 2:30 game.
So Oregon just beat the shit out of an FCS team. They took out all their aggression that Georgia took out on them.
Yep.
Turned around and walloped somebody like 72-3. I think it was Eastern Washington or something. I'm taking BYU on the road. I'm taking the points. They are really good, and Oregon showed me week 1 that when a team plays with physicality, they will cave.
I hate it. I don't want to bet on Oregon, but I can't break my number 1 rule. I can't bet on Virgin, so I'm picking Oregon.
Oh my god! I can't wait. I can't believe this is gonna happen to me twice in the season.
And honestly, you if you're not gonna learn your lesson, that's on you. I'm taking Oregon. I don't feel confident in it at all. But hey, maybe my playoff pick is gonna go on a little run here.
The game we're about to cover next, maybe no two coaching fates kind of on the line here. Auburn's coach Harsin the boosters tried to run him out over the summer, and really bizarre. Auburn is bizarre, but then Penn State had a bad 2 years.
Yep.
The loser of this game is going to kind of start feeling some hot seat vibes. What coach are you going with here, Franklin or this former Boise State guy from
I think
Hassan?
anytime I have to go Big Ten versus SEC, I take the SEC. So, John, I'm going with Auburn. But, I like to cheer for my Big Ten boys. I just don't think James Franklin, he's kind of had every year he's just had a dud in the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had one yet.
Penn State loses to teams they shouldn't.
Yep.
I don't think this isn't.
Even though this isn't one of those, I guess. But Auburn is favored. So it's Penn State at Auburn. Auburn is getting 3 points.
Yeah.
So I like taking the home dog.
I do think this is a game that Penn State may win by less than 3, which is tough. This smells like Penn State wins by 2 and I lose, but I'm going to take Penn State -3. Even on the road in the SEC, I just think Auburn is kind of trash.
Okay, we're going two picks that are different right off the bat, buddy. I don't like that.
And this next one, a Big Ten team also on the road. Who are you taking?
We got
Michigan
number
State.
11, Michigan State at Washington. Washington is favored by 3.5. This is a night game, which I love because that's going to get the crowd riled up. I'm going with the Huskies.
Yeah.
I'm taking the home.
We're all, dude. This is going to be very big for our rankings. I'm taking Michigan State at plus 3.5 all day. Washington is like one. They couldn't beat anyone last year. Their competition has been whack. I think Michigan State has way better players. They are dealing with injuries, though.
If it helps anybody, when I made this pick, I know nothing, absolutely nothing about Washington. I have not.
They're 2-0.
Haven't looked into that. I just know that they're undefeated.
They're 2-0, and they're at home.
It's a night game. I'm going with pure atmosphere, and that's it. That's what I'm doing. Instead of doing the full research on that game, I was like, I'm just going to go with my gut.
And here is a tricky one. Miami.
Game 4.
Game 4, Miami, number 13 Miami at Texas A&M. Both teams played horrible last week. Miami won. Texas A&M didn't. Miami kind of did not look good against Southern Miss at home. They look bad. I watched most of that game. Really hard to bet on either of these teams right now. So I will take the points. I will take Miami plus 5.5 on the road. I'm taking a lot of road teams.
I'm going to join you with that one, buddy. I don't think we can take Texas A&M after last week.
If you can't move the ball in App State, who gave up 60 to North Carolina.
I'm not doing it. Yep.
App State gives up 60 to North Carolina. And then Texas A&M can't move the ball on them? Come on. You want me to bet on them?
Did you watch the video of the Texas A&M pep rally that they had before the game? It's pathetic. Everyone, if you have a chance, look it up.
I'll watch it.
So Texas A&M, whoever runs their social media, they've been reporting anybody that's retweeted the video. It's pathetic because the players make fun of App State, make fun of the program, make fun of everything. And it's just so...
Karma is real, Daryl.
Absolutely.
Karma is real. Even the football gods are also, they've been known to...
Absolutely. They take it away. Okay.
I changed your 5th game. So you had a different 5th game up here. Don't remember, but I'm
fine with this change because...
I'm fascinated by USC. It's Fresno State at USC. Fresno State is...
How dare you
last
change
week
my games, though.
Sorry.
Over again. That is...
I had to do it.
Strike one.
It's just a fascinating game. Fresno State Bulldogs... They just lost on the last play basically to Oregon State, who's a Pac-12 North sleeper, and now they travel to USC, who has been clobbering teams. And you know what? I'm taking USC minus 12.5. I'm riding the Trojans.
Me too.
Dude.
I love that too.
They can't be guarded. Caleb Williams to Jordan Addison
cannot
be guarded.
I love when great offensive teams play great offensive teams and just put up huge numbers against teams that they should. And that's
take the over in this game. I don't care if it's 78.
Let's just keep betting USC until they prove us wrong.
Prove me wrong.
They're just going to keep making the spread.
Jordan Addison, Daryl.
Bigger.
Lincoln Riley offense, he had 176 and 2 touchdowns. He has on the year so far has 4 touchdowns through 2 games. He is going to probably score 20 touchdowns, maybe more. I think he might get to 22. He can't be guarded they have a lot of weapons. He's unbelievable.
He is
absolutely unbelievable. And I'm happy that he got a $3 million NIL. But my God, I could have used him on Saturday.
Yes, you could have. That would have really helped.
One little touchdown
would have probably taken down Tennessee.
We might be a playoff contender with these days. Okay.
All right, John. Guess what's back? The NFL, baby, and it really lived up to the hype. Week 1,
Ooh.
I loved it. Week 1 was everything that I wanted to see. Bills looked amazing on Thursday night. Rams looked like dog shit.
Fascinating game. Bills look different.
I don't know. There's a little team in Minnesota called the Vikings who absolutely walloped the Green Bay Packers at home. Rodgers doesn't have anybody to throw it to, and the guys that he could throw it to, they're wide open. Dropped a wide open touchdown.
Dropped the wide open touchdown. I mean,
perfect.
It's the weirdest relationship in sports. The management versus Rodgers is like they're one of the best quarterbacks, and they just don't want him to succeed. It's almost like they don't want him to do well.
Just put somebody around, like just
get rid of Adams.
and
give him nothing.
The Adams thing is fine, but you have to bring somebody else in.
Yeah, they didn't bring anyone in.
Sammy Watkins, I think they did.
Lazard's your number one, and he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. I think they brought in Sammy Watkins, but I don't remember
who's
even
3,000 years old at this point.
Not good.
It was a great week. I'll say this.
Great.
I looked around at I was watching all the games at this bar, and every game was within like 3 points, except like the Chiefs and somebody like that. There was 8.
Cardinals got their asses kicked.
8 games of the 1 o'clock slot, Eastern, 12 Central, and they were all close. And there was so many. Who would have saw the Bears beating the Niners?
I mean, if anybody takes anything away from that game, you're insane. Because that was, as being in Chicago, right next to the stadium, that is the most rain I think I've experienced here in Chicago.
The 2 biggest spreads this week, Steelers were +6.5, won outright, and the Bears were like also like they were like 5 or something. Like, the bigger spread teams won outright. It was nuts.
The Steelers game, that will
never happen again.
The funniest. So we do have we have a mutual friend, Greg, who was over at my apartment watching the game, and he had bet on the Bengals money line. And it was in part of the parlay, and all he just needed was the Bengals to win, and they score as time expires. All they need is just the extra point. Bengals miss the extra point, gets blocked by Steelers, goes into overtime. Bengals miss another field goal.
They minimized 2. They've also missed one.
That was bad.
They shanked one off a high snap.
Yeah, that was in the overtime, and then they missed it. They got the extra point blocked. But that's
the Steelers.
And that's because they had
5
a
turnovers.
Backup snapper.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how can you be that bad? I feel like we could go into a game.
It was very week 1. The whole week was very week 1 to me. Sloppy preseason vibes. Steelers forced 5 turnovers and barely get out with their life. I mean, 5, Daryl.
I mean, they're just not going to put up points. Their
Worst offense in the NFL.
Their defense
Worst
swarms,
offense
buddy.
in the NFL.
There was
they're
a
bad.
couple other games. So Chiefs looked amazing. Just absolutely kicked the shit out of
Tyreek
Cardinals.
who? Tyreek who?
I mean, you don't need him. When you have a great quarterback, I mean, that's what Rodgers maybe learn a lesson or two. No, but they were so good. The Bucs looked great. Cowboys are dead.
And are the Dolphins good? We'll find out. Too early, but they clapped the Patriots.
Too early. But yeah.
They clapped them.
Are you a Tua believer?
I'm a believer of the weapons he has at his disposal. I'm a big Jalen Waddle guy. Obviously love Tyreek.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know, he was so good in college. It's hard to imagine him being bad in the NFL, but I'm not going to call myself a believer, but I believe in the Dolphins. I think they're going to win some games.
I'm starting to believe. And then, the Vikings-Packer game, I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of that thing. Justin Jefferson is going to have 2,000 yards receiving this year.
Well, you got to guard him, too.
I like the Packers scheme was very good, I thought.
They decided,
just let him run.
I don't know if you know this. After the game, Justin Jefferson went, I was surprised how open I was. He kept on being like, He had
15 yards in between him every play. It was so fun to see. That was the only way that the Vikings were going to make any kind of noise this year is if they took down the Packers week 1. So I think the Packers are going to be just fine. I don't think that
last year they lost their 38-3 to the Saints, which we lost money on.
I wish I thought that they sucked, but they don't. They'll be just fine.
They'll be fine.
They get the Bears this Sunday night, which is a terrible game for a national audience. Vikings get Eagles on Monday Night Football. That would be great.
I'm so excited for
that. Will be wonderful.
I will make my way over to wherever you're at. Yes. I'll probably be at.
I think that would be lovely.
That's gonna be a game.
That's gonna be a really fun game. Kirk Cousins looked sharp. I'm all in, and I'm ready to get my heart broken. Especially now that the Badgers are officially dead. I'm focusing. I'm putting all my eggs in the old Vikings basket, which has never worked ever for me ever. It's literally always ended in the most just historically terrible way. but I'm ready to get hurt again.
I hope for your sake. I mean, the Vikings looked really good, but it's tough because week 1 means nothing. Last year, Steelers beat the Bills, and the Saints beat the Packers week 1, and
Sometimes.
But sometimes it means something, right?
Sometimes it means something.
I think, for instance, the Steelers are going to barely get to 500 despite this win. I mean, I think anyone watching the game would see their offense is horrible.
Correct.
But you guys looked well.
Yes.
On both sides of the ball.
Yes.
You look
sharp,
like you're playing well.
Sack, defense looks sharp. I'm fully. If they beat the Eagles on Monday,
that's going to be a big moment.
You're not going to be able to keep me down, buddy. I'm going to be. One thing about me and my fanhood is I don't ease into anything. I just scream from the rooftop. I'm going to let everybody know how in I am, so that when the fall happens, everybody just leaps on me.
Yeah.
And I've
like a big pile of leaves.
But one time, it's going to work out where I will be screaming all season, and I'm going to win it.
You guys have to win it one of these years. You have a lot of talent. I mean, we'll see. This is we'll be riding the Vikings, and let's.
Our picks were incredible last week. I won 5-0. John won 4-1.
Unbelievable! I can't believe I picked the Patriots. I love the Dolphins. Looking back, I can't believe I did that. 4-1 though. I'll take it. 5-0 for Daryl. What a start!
Goddamn right.
Unbelievable.
And it feels good. And I took all those games. So I'm ready to fucking rock and roll again.
That's probably the best I've ever done in NFL. I'm excited to start this next 5. Let's start with the Thursday night AFC West.
This is an incredible Thursday night football game, folks. This might be the best one that we'll probably see all year. It is the Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 3.5. This is Thursday night on NBC.
This is an incredibly hard game. I think the line is a little bit bigger than I would have maybe thought.
I agree.
I thought it'd be a little smaller. I just the Chargers played a tough opponent in the Raiders and won.
That was my slam dunk pick of the week. Slamma-jamma, best pick ever. I said bet against the Raiders because they're going to get sacked a lot, and that's exactly what happened. You're welcome, America.
I'm gonna say Chiefs minus 3.5. Just because they're at home. I would have picked. Doesn't matter what the spread was. Whoever's at home. I'm picking who's ever at home in this AFC West rivalry.
I'm doing the exact same thing. Chiefs looked just completely flawless. Cardinals aren't good, but they absolutely kicked the shit out of them. On a short week like this, I kind of like the vet team to roll. I think Thursday night does tend to get a little bit weird. Yeah. But that's why it's good to have players that have done this a lot.
And they're at home. They didn't have to travel. They didn't have to travel, man.
Night game. That place gets rocking at night. I love. Yeah, I'm going with Chiefs, but I think this game is going to be.
That's going to be. Incredible. I mean, it's a coin flip. I mean, Bosa and the boys might strip sack Patrick and dance in the end zone and we look like idiots, but I just can't. I'd rather take the home team there.
Me too. All right, game 2. Buccaneers at Saints. Saints are getting 3 at home. This is a noon game on Fox. Tom Brady has not beat the Saints yet as the Buccaneers quarterback.
Wow,
which makes no sense, but it is the truth.
Well, I'm taking the Bucs because I'm an idiot. How about that? They're going to beat them, right? The Saints are weird. Right? The Saints were down the whole game to the Falcons this week and then won. It was
ugly. It was a classic. That's a classic Jameis game where that was a terrible game.
Horrible game.
Bucs, Falcons.
I was in Georgia this past weekend and I was watching a lot of that game.
Oh, that's tough. Ugh. That's a tough game to watch. No, that's not.
Golly.
John, I'm joining you.
We're chalk eating weasels at this point.
Hey, it's fine. I don't give a shit. If we're right. You guys can call us whatever you want. We're just going to be counting our money, John. Counting our money.
Because I just feel compelled to take a dog. I'm taking the Dolphins.
Okay, game 3 is Dolphins at Ravens. Ravens are favored at home by 3.5. This is a nooner on CBS. John, do you want to redeem yourself and take the Dolphins?
I'm taking the Dolphins, and it will be. I like that O. And the Ravens kind of were slow start. They didn't wow me. I will say that. And I like they got some speed on both sides of the ball. I'm messing with the Dolphins, and I want the points. They lose by 3, I win. How about that? Plus 3.5 Dolphins.
Hey, what did you call us after the first 2 picks?
Chalk eating weasels.
I'm going to continue that trend, and I will be taking the Ravens.
Can't take favorites. It's like when you're doing A's in a test.
I
Too many
know.
A's
Yep.
in a row.
No, I agree.
Too
This
many
is going to blow up
favorites
in
in
my
a
face
row.
for sure.
Just
But I
makes me nervous.
I trust Harbaugh's defense to absolutely.
Boy, have I said that a
confuse-
lot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, you love your Harbaugh.
I love my Harbaugh.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I love it.
I think he's like that's someone that could probably rattle Tua a little bit, and that's what you have to do to win this game. But
This game's either going to be like 21-20 Dolphins or 45-10 Ravens.
this feels like a
That's how
game
it feels
that
to
the
me.
second it kicks off, I'm gonna regret my bet.
Yep.
You know, like I'm gonna just see.
It's that nice noon one. You just get it out of the way early.
Yeah, I'm like this is a dumb bet. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'll
Start
just live
building
bet
your
it.
parlays.
It's fine.
new
That's a great
parlays.
game though. It's like that's one of those AFC games you see on the schedule. You don't really realize how good it is until you turn on. I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of stars all over the place. It's probably two playoff teams. Possible playoff matchup? Question mark.
It smells like a wild card. Wild card energy.
That's a Saturday afternoon wild card game for sure.
Get your little sweater on.
Yep,
Put a little
perfect.
cozy.
Yep. Yeah,
Little
you just
cozy.
got your first bowl of chili. It's perfect. All right, game 4. This is. I don't know why I have this game on here, but it is fascinating.
This is
Cardinals at Raiders.
This is the pick up the pieces bowl, week
Big
2.
time. Raiders are favored by 4.5 at home, 3:30 CBS. So do we think the Cardinals are as bad as they played against the Chiefs? Do we think the Raiders can rebound after getting dismantled by the Chargers, by getting their, not score-wise, but they got their asses kicked?
I think that people, I still feel, people wouldn't say that losing a wide receiver wouldn't be that big a deal in the NFL. But, like, DeAndre Hopkins is so good, and I think just changes the complexity of any football game that he's playing in, that not having him is going to hurt them more than maybe the experts would say. And he's not going to play in this game either. He's 6-week suspension. This is week 2. Raiders with a lot of points. I mean, Raiders win by 4, I lose. But I'm taking Raiders minus 4.5 because the Cardinals don't have their best offensive weapon. And who's scoring for them, dude?
I'm truly I thought maybe the Cardinals defense was going to be okay.
Hollywood Brown.
They gave up 30 plus and the easiest points I've ever seen against the Chiefs last week.
Yeah.
This Raiders offense is just as electric it can be, of course.
Yeah.
I hate betting another favorite. I'm doing it.
Wow,
Cardinals.
you're going.
I've got 4, but don't worry. The 5th game will not be a favorite.
Absolutely.
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry.
That is an easy not favorite. So that's actually going to be that'll be whoever loses that game, Cardinals Raiders.
Is 0-2 in his panic mode.
Panic. Big time. That is going to be dangerous. All right, well, we're both taking the Raiders.
I'm so excited. I think there's 2 Monday night games, but
there is. But
which
this
just
one
makes me so happy.
This one, though, it should just be one. It should just be this one.
This is an amazing
All right,
game.
ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Vikings travel to Philly, Jonathan's Philly, to play the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 2 right now, and this is Monday Night Football on ABC.
A raucous crowd. The link goes nuts. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles give up 35 points to the Lions.
Yes, they did.
And it's like, are these Lions good? I'll say no.
No.
I'll take my Vikes plus 2.
Nice, John.
I mean, you're getting points. They looked so good last week.
They did.
And whoever loses this game doesn't really matter, but whoever wins
this game is in
2-0, and
driver's
this might
seat.
be
That's 2 playoff teams you beat.
This might be a team you want to have a tiebreaker with.
Bingo.
In a couple of months.
That is correct, John.
This is what we call it. Isn't that interesting?
The Vikings, I believe the last time they played the Eagles was the NFC Championship game 3 years ago. The Vikings got their absolute asses kicked after the Minneapolis Miracle. They came out, laid just the biggest egg ever, and lost to Philly. So
I forgot about that.
that one hurt. It was
payback, baby.
Nick Foles absolutely just dismantled.
Yeah, you
the
guys
Vikes.
just didn't show up to that game.
They came right. Vikings went right down this field, scored 7-0. I was like, oh my God, we are going to the Super Bowl, and I don't know if we scored again.
Yeah, I think it was like 45-7
Just
or
got the
something weird.
absolute asses kicked.
Nick Foles just.
I will say, as a fan of a team, I would rather in an NFC Championship game or a championship game to get my ass kicked instead of
losing the final
heartbreaking.
seconds.
I've suffered through both. I was fine. I remember
You've seen both of that
I've
side
seen
of the coin.
some
yeah.
bad ones that I was like, you know what? Thank you for just getting your ass kicked and not making me feel shitty. We just got beat.
You'd rather just get blown out.
I'm definitely taking the Vikes. This is, I picked them to go to the NFC Championship game, and to get there, I think they need to try to get a 1 or 2 seed, but definitely the 1 seed because I want that bye. So this is how I'm bought all in because I'm already thinking about a first-round bye. I'm fully setting myself up to get devastated, but I'm taking them.
A healthy Vikings can do anything.
And John, if you're going to be there by my side,
I mean, you absolutely. Let's
then-
parlay this.
then-
I smell a same game parlay. Is what I smell.
I think I will say as good as I was in NFL betting, same game parlays, I think I'm over 30 so far.
Ooh.
So
Yeah, they're the actual worst.
John, where are you going to be this weekend? What's happening? Where are you going to be able to watch some football?
I am co-headlining at Sisyphus Brewery in Minneapolis, Minnesota at 8 o'clock on the 16th and the 17th of September. I'm really excited to do that. So I will have to find, I don't work till 8 o'clock. So both Sunday I'll be unfortunately driving. I'll be on the phone the whole time.
Yeah, that's tough.
But
you are going to be
illegally
a passenger
streaming?
in the car, so at least you'll
Correct.
be able to stream the games
But
on the way back.
Saturday will be, I'm going to look up Best Sports Bar Minnesota, park my ass there from 11 a.m. till probably 7.
I love that.
Just a solid 8 hours to the veins.
If any Minnesota people out there, send some
Send some
recs
man.
to John,
Some
or
love.
go check them out at the brewery. I'll be in.
What are you going to be doing this
I
weekend?
got
Darren?
Laugh Factory on Friday night, 2 shows there, and then
Hell yeah.
Saturday I'll be in Sheboygan,
Hell yeah.
headlining a show up there.
A
So
Wisconsin boy through and through.
that's right. And then I'll be coming back Sunday morning, get ready, get back in time to sit my ass on the couch and watch a bunch of football all Sunday. And then Monday night I'll be with you.
Mm.
And then next weekend, the following weekend, you and I will be I'll be headlining a club in Dubuque, Iowa.
Comedy Bar Dubuque.
And you and I will be together all weekend long. And there are
That's
2
gonna be-
casinos in Dubuque.
I mean, those are going to be just some of the wildest times of our life.
The Badgers play Ohio State that weekend. So, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be tough on the liver. But that's everything. That's why we get excited for football. That's why we get excited about gambling.
You know what gets me excited? Iowa has scored 14 points this season, and they've punted 15 times.
That is the funniest. It's the most Big Ten stat I've ever heard.
And they're 1-1.
Like, they're so stupid.
The first team since 1970s to both score under 10 in their first game and give up under 10 in their first and second game. That's how bad it's been.
That is the dumbest stat.
Yeah, they've been really bad.
I always feel bad for the statistician or like the analyst that has to find a stat like that.
I wish it was me.
John, I can't imagine you doing anything. I'm sorry. I think you would be all over the place with numbers.
It's very difficult for me to sit down for more than 5.
Yeah,
It's a miracle I could do this.
Hey, John, can you look up if there's ever been 2 teams to score less than 10 and hold their opponent under 10 in the last 50 years? Within, I don't know what, 5 minutes? You'd already have 16 tabs up, one with Pornhub on, the other with Cartoon
There'd be
Network.
so many tabs.
And then just messaging me.
Yeah. Give me like a surprise this weekend, Daryl. I feel like I just want to, last week was so crazy. Whether NFL or college, I don't care. Just give me like this. Give me a crazy prediction.
I'm going with an NFL pick. Okay,
Go with an NFL
you ready for this?
craziness.
Okay. All right. Here's one that I think is going to happen. Okay, hold on. That's not the game.
Yeah, give me something
here it is.
crazy.
This one is crazy, and it's so stupid. It's so wrong. I think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the Bengals.
There you go.
Cooper Rush.
That's fun.
And I love the Bengals, but for how bad that they played and how many times Burrow got sacked, how many times he threw picks, the Dallas defense is not the problem. It's their offense. I think it's going to be – they are playing the exact same game that they just played. It's like playing the Steelers again. I'm going to bet on the Dallas Cowboys to take down the Bengals.
I love that.
Do you have a hot pick over there?
I think it would upset you if I made it because it's one of those things when I would bet against my own team and say negative things about teams that I love.
You bet against Michigan?
So no, I will. I'm just going to say that Toledo is minus 30 or is plus 32 against Ohio State. And I'm just saying, do a Toledo do a crazy tease to like Toledo, plus 15.
I
Go
hate
crazy.
that. Don't do that.
Do it.
Don't do that.
Do it. They're gonna cover.
No one should do that.
Do it.
No one should.
We're going to run this clip next week after the Toledo Rockets, who are 2-0.
I will
go
not
into
be
the
doing
horseshoe
that. I might
put up a
tease
fight.
Ohio State to win by 50.
The Rockets
Like
of Toledo are 2-0, and Daryl gives
sorry.
no respect to the MAC.
Of course not.
He never respects the
No,
MAC.
I don't. I hate even bringing it up. ever.
Akron is at Tennessee.
Oh my
Akron just
God.
lost to Michigan State 52-0. They are at Tennessee. Give me a guess on what that spread is. Akron's 1-1. Tennessee just beat Pitt 2-0. It's in Knoxville.
Okay, so I'm going to say
It's not in the 50s. I'll say that.
41.5.
47.5. And bet the Vols. It will be 52-0. That might be the lock of the week.
I'm not making that the lock of the week. You can't ever have Tennessee as your lock of the week. That is not a team that you do that to. That is just not someone. I love Tennessee, but but you can't. No, you can never do that.
I'm doing it.
No
Tennessee
matter what
lock of the
it is.
week.
Jesus, you should just do money line, bet against them. That's probably more of a lock. All right, all right, John. It's going to be a great week. I mean, obviously, last week we thought it was going to be shitty for college football, and my God, did it blow our minds.
It was amazing, dude.
So I mean, there could be some. I'm sure there will be some crazy upsets, but this is typically the week because next week that'll be full conference play going forward from here on out. I think. So this week is typically like a tune-up week for some of the bigger schools. So probably shouldn't happen, but who knows? The NFL though, week in week out, it's always fucking bonkers.
I was surprised by the parody of the NFL this week. I was really surprised.
It's great.
I think it's a
board.
really fun time to be a fan of the league, and it's just all these new dudes and like.
Because even like the most unwatchable teams are still somewhat watchable. Like
yeah, the Lions scored 35.
the Lions are fun. They have at least they have something.
Yeah,
that people can watch.
Can you believe the Seahawks? Before we get off,
that was
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
The Seahawks beat the Broncos.
That
with Geno Smith, Geno Smith's good.
Is that the ending of that game? Russell Wilson. There was a minute left. It was 4th and 5, or whatever it was, and they were that far back, and they ran the clock down to get a 65-yard field goal.
And he almost made it. How about that?
Yeah, no one really thought about it.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
No one really judged him. That was embarrassing.
It was poor clock management, game management.
That was some of the worst.
But that
I've ever
coach is his
seen.
first ever.
Right, you can't have that as your first.
Here's your John Gasper fun fact: that coach, his dad is the guy Pete Carroll replaced at USC.
Oh wow!
So how about that for he plays.
Suck it. Got his dad redemption time for his dad.
Pete Carroll, who's 70 and looks hot as fuck. He's so old. He looks great.
He can take it easy on the chewing gum. He can take it easy. That's got to stop.
He has rich West Coast guy energy. If you saw him in a bar, if Pete Carroll walked in and was just like, he would have like a kind of a nice shirt, and then when he's put his keys down, you'd be like Mercedes. You'd be like, no. Even it'd be like Aston Martin. He just has rich West Coast guy energy. He's
the guy when you're on like a shitty pontoon boat, and you go by like this like on like a shitty lake. But then there's always the one house on the corner that's like has this manicured lawn, just gigantic.
Yeah, good windows.
That's where Pete lives.
Yeah,
that's he owns a landscaping company, and he
goes like this when you go by, but you're not even don't know him that well.
He hates his wife, she hates him, but they have tons of sex.
Yeah,
like it's
transactional.
They both.
There's no love behind the love making. It's just making.
Well, that's how we should end every podcast. Breaking down Pete Carroll's sex life. That's great. All right, buddy.
You know what? I love you so much. We're shaking hands.
Get. That's how real men shake hands with their fingers.
Just a fingertip
touch.
A
little timber.
Well, guys, make your parlays. Do your money lines. Do your first half bets. Do your anything you want.
Just break even.
Just make sure you break even.
Yeah, that's all you ever have to do. That's why we love this. We love you guys.
I love you to death, Daryl.
Go Vikings. Love you, buddy.
When you pawn your wedding ring and your head is up your ass.